if you fail, it's not the end of the world. It happens.
About should I get certifications? Is it worth it? What would you say to them?
It is totally worth it, and I cannot overemphasize the importance of them.
So, I want to say thank you for joining us today. We're here to talk about cybersecurity, training classes, career opportunities, and I wanted to touch base with what you are doing to really get in touch with the community. So, tell us about you and your mission.
All right. First of all, thank you for having me. My name is Dayspring, and I am a sophomore in college and currently information security analyst intern. I recently just completed some basic level certifications, A plus, Network plus, and Security plus, and I decided to start a YouTube channel to kind of highlight my experience, with the certifications and just carry people along on my journey towards becoming a cybersecurity professional. So basically, my experience with the certifications, how I study for the certifications, how I pass the certifications, my upcoming plans, how I got my internship, and just carrying people along with how I'm going along my journey, and hopefully giving them value in that, and hopefully they can apply that to their own journeys as well.
I bet. So that's really cool because a lot of people just are overwhelmed by how much information is out there and they really don't know where to start or what the best things or strategies, I should say, are to
Right.
being successful. So for you, have you felt like you were able to learn more from college certifications or your internship? I know all three are probably teaching you, but where's like the most valuable stuff coming from?
But as a freshman, I was a cybersecurity major, and I took some really fundamental classes that I believed helped me with the fundamentals of IT, and really gave me a solid foundation for the certifications I took later on, that also helped me with my internship. So I think everything kind of worked together. But I would say the courses I took during my freshman year were the ones that really gave me the fundamentals. I took like IT fundamentals classes, and like two networking classes, and they really gave me a solid foundation for everything else.
Do you feel that it was essential for you to learn about networking before you could really jump into the cybersecurity part of it?
Yes, I think networking was a really, really major part of like the fundamentals that really helped me, and it's still something I'm trying to learn more about currently. Even though I have taken the classes, I have taken the network pro certification, I still want to learn more about networking because I think it's a really, really fundamental aspect of cybersecurity, and that's just what I think. So yeah.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about what you learned on your internship. What are you getting your hands on? What are you loving about that?
Yeah, I must say the internship has been a really, really amazing experience so far. I have been learning more about like email security, learning about like a little bit of incident response, not too much, but a little bit about cloud as well. And it's just really helped me solidify all of those things I've learned previously and actually put them into practice. So it's been a really, really fun experience.
Nice. Now, has have you learned through your studies and your experience what you do not want to pursue?
Hmm. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to pursue. So I do not know what I do not want to pursue right now because I'm still kind of figuring everything out. It's still like, the beginning, it's still like the start for me. So I'm really open minded to like different fields, and just trying to figure out what exactly I want to get into eventually.
Absolutely. So, as a student, when you were preparing for your certifications, what are some tips that you can share for people who are studying right now for their A plus, Net plus, or Security plus, or just any certification overall?
First thing I would say is, be sure that this is something you really want to do, because if you are getting to this field, you must know that there will be challenges, and it's also a field where you are going to always have to be learning something. So be sure of that at first. And then one of the major tips I always give people is, if you're going to take an exam, make sure to schedule it first. Like, the first thing you should do is buy that voucher and schedule that exam, because it kind of puts this positive pressure on you to study up consistently towards the exam date. So once you've scheduled your exam, I like to plan a lot. I'm really a perfectionist at planning, so I actually lay out a plan like week by week of each of my study materials
Mhm.
and up leading up until the exam date. And so if you're going to do that, just make sure that you accumulate all the study materials you want to use, plan on how you're going to study with those materials week
Mhm.
by week, and then be consistent, because sometimes it's easy to, like, get off your studying because life happens and some things change. But try as much as possible to be consistent, because like I said, life happens. And then when you're ready to take the exam, just be confident in your abilities, be confident in your studies. And if you fail, I have failed a certification exam before. I failed the A plus the first time I attempted it. It's not the end of the world. It happens. Just make sure to double up and study over again, and pass the exam the next time.
I love that you said positive pressure because it is setting a goal, it's setting a due date, but it's not meant to intimidate you as a student, as a seeker of your certification, but really
Mhm.
something to just make sure that you're motivated, that you're staying on schedule. And I just love that term, positive pressure. I have not heard that in a long time. Very, very cool.
Absolutely.
So, how did
Thank
you
you.
feel after you failed? Like, what is it that kept you motivated, that got you back to studying?
So after I failed, I'm not gonna lie, I was devastated a little bit. I was like, well, I've just spent this much money on two exams because it was the A plus, the core one and core two. So I have failed both exams. I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do this again. But then the pandemic hit, and the what really motivated me was my dad. He told me that you're never gonna have this period of your life ever again. Like, you're never gonna have this much free time. You're never gonna, like, be as free as you are right now. So it is like you should try to leverage this period where you're not doing too much. I was still in school at the time, but I wasn't like working or anything, so I could spend that time studying for the certification again. So it was really my dad that motivated me to take the certification again, and I'm grateful to him for that, because it was what led me to take it again and pass, and also be motivated to take both the Network Plus and Security Plus right after that.
Very cool. I love hearing stories like that because for some people looking at us on YouTube, they think, oh, they just are winning all the time, right? They're just passing every cert. We don't know how they do it. But you know what? We fail too. And it sucks. It sucks
Totally,
for us. It sucks
totally.
when anybody else fails. I have failed some certification exams. I know it does not feel great. It took me 2 attempts to get my CCNA. It took me 3 attempts to get my Server Plus from CompTIA. So I've been there and you just have to push through it. So I appreciate you sharing that with us because sometimes it's kind of hard to talk about. Give me some tips on those who are looking for their first job or their first internship. How did you score that opportunity?
I think really understanding the industry, understanding the trends, and understanding what employers are looking for is important. First of all, because it varies. Some people are looking for certifications, degrees, experience, and you have to find like the right balance. And I was like, okay, so I think I'm currently pursuing an associate's degree, so I have that in my belt. So my goal was to try to get an internship, right? I wasn't looking to get like a full-time job, of course. So that's the first thing that made. So I was like, internship. All right. So how am I going to set myself apart from other applicants? And I know that generally most students usually wait till after the degrees to get in certifications. So it's like, with certifications, I might be able to stand out from other applicants. So I got my A plus, and I also listed on my resume that I was currently studying for my Network Plus and Security Plus, so that the people who were going to interview me or see my resume would know that this is where I am working towards. So that was the first thing I did. I made sure to redo my resume with the help of a friend. Got the resume done, and then I started applying to like target places. Right, so you look for places where they kind of fit your which credentials that you have, and start applying. And I must say that I applied to over 150 places before getting this internship. So it was not like just perfect. Like, I got so many rejections before I actually got this position. But when I actually did get the interview for this position, I was like, I actually want this position. I actually want to get this. So I was gonna put in every effort, like every last ounce of effort in me to ace that interview. So what I did was, leading up to the interview, I reached out to people who are in the cybersecurity industry as maybe security analysts and different job roles, and I asked them that, okay, um, what would I expect in a cybersecurity internship interview, and how could I stand out from other applicants, and still getting advice from these people, different things, different advice from them helped me get myself prepared for the interview. And then leading up to the interview, every single day, I had like a sheet of paper where I had several questions that I would ask myself and stand in front of a mirror and rehearse my answers, because I'm trying to sell myself to you. I'm trying to sell the reason why you should hire me as your intern, the reason why I'm the best fit for this position. So leading up to the interview, I was doing that every day consistently, and when it came to the time of the interview, I made sure to put all of my practice, all of the advice I received into practice. And then something that I know that really made me stand out was after the interview, I sent a thank you email to three to all of the interviewers. I had three interviewers. It was a panel, so I sent a thank you email at 8 a.m. the next day to all of the interviewers and the recruiter that recruited me for the position. Just like thanking them for the opportunity to interview, and also highlighting some things we talked about in the interview. So, and I say that because I was actually told that one of the reasons why they chose me for the position was because no one else did that. So that's
Really?
why, yeah, that's why I kind of highlight the fact that it's important to do things that other people are not doing and just try to set yourself apart from the other applicants.
Absolutely. So you said so many amazing things, and there was lots of tips hidden in there. So I want to unpack a couple of them. First and foremost, that thank you letter is crucial. It's kind of old school, right? A lot of people, no matter their age or generation, they overlook the thank yous. Like, thank you for taking an hour out of your day to tell
Yeah,
me about the position, to consider me as an applicant. Like, being gracious, being thankful can really stand apart. And even though you're at home thinking, like, oh gosh, I hope I get this, communicate that, and it will absolutely help you stand out and be more competitive, and just really set the tone for what type of person you are. They want to make sure
right,
that you're a good fit for their team. Now, you had said
right,
something earlier in your answer about what I consider the trifecta of really getting your foot in the door, right? You have experience, certifications, and formal education. And we really do have to find a balance between those three. And what is right for everybody might be a little bit different, because some people are coming to the plate with a lot of experience from other industries, and then they start getting certifications, and then they get tech experience, and then they can move into management once they get some formal education. You are on a different path, though, starting with formal education, adding certifications, and then, of course, with your internship, but moving into bigger positions in the future as well. So it sounds like it's working really well for you. You said you applied for about 150 positions, so consistency is key. How did you keep track or organize yourself as you were applying, following up, interviewing, all that good stuff?
I at that time I didn't have like a really good way of actually keeping track of it. But what I do now, because I noticed that that was like something I had to work on. What I do now is I have a folder where I have different categories for different internships I've applied to. So I have a folder for the ones I've applied to, the ones I'm interviewing, the ones that I've been maybe offered, the ones that have not reviewed my applications. So for each um, of those applications, I have a file that has the resume I submitted, and maybe like other documents relating to that particular position that I applied for. So that kind of helps me track each of the positions and know what to expect in case of an interview, because I try to uh like tweak my resume based off of whatever position I'm interviewing for. So I would that's just my way, just the folder on my desktop with all of the different subfolders with all of the different positions I've applied for.
I like it. I think everyone has to find something that works really well for them. For me, I always have Excel sheets or Google Sheets going with who I've talked to, what my point of contact, like their preference, if they're more of LinkedIn or they like email or phone calls. So I know how they like to communicate. And then, of course, just like you said, what resume did I submit? Did I tweak it for them? Maybe a copy of my cover letter. So I love that you are kind of organizing in
Yes.
a different way. So I appreciate you sharing that. So what classes are you taking next semester?
Okay, for next semester, I am taking a ethical hacking class. I'm taking a math class, taking I think history, government, and I think geology, just like general education classes to kind of round up my socials degree.
Very cool. So your ethical hacking course, is that going to prepare you for the certified ethical hacker?
Oh, it is more geared towards the pen test plus.
Oh,
So yeah,
awesome. Okay.
yeah.
Very cool. So have you tried hacking or um, pen testing or vulnerability analysis yet?
I have messed around with try hack me, hack the box, but I have not really taken it serious. I do intend. Hopefully this class will help me learn more about it because that's like kind of the general purpose of the class. And I've also been reading this book by. Let me see. I have it here. It's right here. I've been reading this book by Philip Wiley, the Pen Tester Blueprint. Philip
Awesome.
Wiley is also the person that's going to be teaching that class next semester. So hopefully I can get my hands deeper into pen testing as well.
Very cool. I love it. All right. So for those college students who are still thinking about should I get certifications? Is it worth it? What would you say to them?
I would say weigh your options and decide which certifications you would take. It is totally worth it, and I cannot overemphasize the importance of them. It just makes you stand out from other applicants because not everyone is doing them. Not everyone in college is doing them. So if you have that extra edge over another applicant, it might just be the difference that you need to get the position. So just do it.
Just do it. Just knock them out. I love it. What
Totally.
type of content can we find on your YouTube channel?
So most of my content is certifications, advice with college degrees, also like things related to like how to get an internship. Hopefully, I in the future I hope to like do more technical videos as I learn more. But currently, it's just like certifications, college internship, and all of that fun stuff.
That's awesome. And what's your channel name so that we can find it?
Yeah, sure. It's called Day Cyberworks, DAY Cyber WOX.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate the time. This has been really, really informative. And I think no matter if you're a college student, if you're a career changer, you're just looking at IT, this type of information is really what's going to make the difference, right? What is the right path for you? What are some of the challenges? And remember, we don't all get it right the very first time. And it's totally okay. Just make sure you stay motivated, you stay on top of it, and anything in IT, especially cybersecurity, is a forever learning type of environment. It's always changing at least a little bit, and we have to stay on top of it or in front of it so that we are relevant and we can do our jobs really well. And that's what makes cybersecurity fun because it is never boring and it is always being pushed forward in who knows what direction. For those of you who have not already done it, go check out his channel. Check out the awesome content that he's sharing about his journey into cybersecurity, and it'll probably align with yours. Have a good
All
day.
right.
We'll
Thank
see
you
you
very much for
soon.
having me.